Greetings, fellow people who's been stabbed in the back by yours truly, Tiki here, and welcome to the 7th episode of the Soul Imagineer Tribal Council Podcast, Season 2. Oh, way, oh, way, oh, yo, way, yeah, oh, way, yo, way, oh, way, yeah, oh, way, yo. That will not be the last time you'll hear that this podcast. How you doing, D Squared? How you doing?
Doing good.
Right on, right on. Well, if Ricky Ricardo were here, I think he'd have something to say to me. I think he'd burst in, all angry, with his, with his Hispanic flair, and just say, "Tiki, you have some splaining to do." And that's what I'm here to do, folks. That's what I'm here to do. This is the annual podcast in which Tiki completely fucks up his own game by laying all his cards out on the table, because we have had the biggest blindside of the season thus far. I was pretty much behind it, and as a podcast host, god damn it, I can't help it. I need to tell you guys how this all went down, because this was some crazy next level deceit that came down here. So, first of all, D Squared, you were, I don't want to spoil your game entirely. I know that you've got other things going on the side, but you definitely were involved in this, and I came to you very early on this week. So how do you feel about the whole plan to get space out?
It's weird. Like, everything that was supposed to happen didn't happen, but it still worked somehow. It's like all part of the plan.
Oh, we should suggest that D Squared has an idol to split the votes. Nope, yeah. Doesn't work. Oh, we should do this. Nope, doesn't work. Oh, we should suggest that IDI has the idol. Nope, Space is just 10 times more suspicious of me. And yet it still somehow managed to work. I think it's just because of the fact that I don't think this plan works if Space Mountain wasn't such a huge, obvious threat in the challenges. Because, my God, I thought he still had this project in the bag. Like, I worked hard on my C project, but the concept art Space brings out in his projects, mixed with the imagination and the creativity and the level of detail, it's huge. It's almost impossible to beat, and I'm glad I did it this round because, oh boy. So D Squared, let's do a little catalog of this for the good people. So, last Sunday night, or was it last Sunday or last Saturday? Whatever night was the last Tribal Council podcast in which we talked about I am Hufflepuff pulling a D Squared, in which I got drunk. Good times. I remember right before that podcast, I sent you a message and I was like, hey man, I might have a plan, but I want to go over it on air with you before we go on air, on the Hangout. Yeah. And then Space and Red actually were like, oh, we want to go on the Hangout too. And I was like, well, shit, I hope D Squared doesn't bring up the plan, because the plan is all about blindsiding the two of them.
Yeah.
So, long story short, I have been in an alliance with Space since pregame. I was in the Jedi Alliance it was the Rebel Alliance with him and Disney Princess straight out of the gate. Obviously, that didn't last long because Disney Princess left pretty early. But me and Space have been working very closely together almost this whole season. It was the merge, D Squared. It was the merge that really made me put my eye on Space and be like, all right, this guy's telling me he's going to bring me to the end. And you know what? I genuinely believe that he would bring me to the end. But this is Survivor. You've got to weigh your options, and you've got to look at what's happening around you. What I saw around me in terms of Space was someone who was essentially trying to do what D Squared, what you yourself tried to do in the first freaking round of the game, which is essentially go to everyone, strike up a relationship with them, be buddy-buddy with them. And that's exactly what Space tried to do. Space was getting successful at it. I know that he had people loyal to him outside of his core alliance, and I was having none of that, sir. I was having none of that side alliance making. I wag the wagon finger of shame in your face. Oh dear. So like, how do you feel just overall, kind of when I pitched my whole plan? Like, all right. At first, it was very vague. I didn't know where to go with it. At first, didn't I suggest we do Mad and Flippin' go against Red and Space? I don't know. It was very complicated. Very complicated.
And then I figured out all the voting patterns. I came back with like a list of who voted for who and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I figured that out.
Oh god. Of course, IDI also very instrumental in this. Me and you and IDI kind of had like a faction going on.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it an alliance. Let's not call it an alliance. Let's not kind of like. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's totally not an alliance. Totally not.
Totally not an alliance.
But no, just fascinating stuff went down between you getting the idol. You know what? I'm just gonna tell you something that I did that was very, very mischievous on my part that I don't think you know about. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
So we were trying to come up with ways to get Space and Red and presumably Flippin' to split the votes.
Mm-hmm.
And that way we could sweep in, you, me, and IDI, and kind of collectively vote out Space.
Mm-hmm.
One idea I had was, what if I just told them that you told me that you had the idol? And so therefore what I did was I actually went in, I quoted you, so I pulled up like a quote, but I took out all the text and I was like, I just wrote in like, hey, Tiki, I have the idol. Let me know when they're voting for me so we can play it. And I did all that, and then I posted it to the Attractions Alliance. And first of all, they called you out right away. They were like, oh, there's no way he has it because the deadline hasn't passed yet. And I was like, yeah, I probably should have thought of that before I went and did this plan. Yeah. Crazy thing, though. Crazy thing. The circle of life and all that. You actually ended up finding the idol. My God.
I think Michael just did that for the pure entertainment of watching them figure out they actually had it.
So I was all in with you. Then, of course, Space at the last minute, kind of 0 hour, he was targeting the crap out of you most of the round. But then at the 0 hour of the game, he suddenly turned his vote to IDI. And that's where we had to come up with the plan to play the idol on IDI and all that crap. And it was ridiculous. That was a bold play on your end, D-Squared. I very much commend you because you used something that you could have used to protect yourself on somebody else, but you did it in the interest of getting out a major threat. So how do you feel about just in general pulling that move off?
It was, I kind of don't have it anymore, so that's kind of, we didn't even need it, really. It was kind of the first thing we saw when we saw the votes. We were like, oh, we just used the idol. And
hey, man, Tiki's guide on how not to use the idol.
Yeah.
2.0. Oh, that'll never get old. That'll never get old. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, so let's see. So D-Squared, you are now in the final 6. Of course, we have the final 6 vote. We have the final 5 vote, and then someone comes back from Redemption Island. How well do you think your standing is in this game thus far?
I guess it's hard to tell because, I mean, if one person gets a veto, that can change the whole game, really.
Of course, of course.
I think I'll get past at least the next round. I don't know about that because, I mean, if Spacemt...
I would say that right now, the target is 100% on my back.
Yeah.
And I expected that, you know what I mean? Let me get this straight. Like, me taking Space Mountain and me not voting out Space Mountain to the end,
Yeah.
that would have been an easier way for me to physically get to the finals. Because I knew Space would be loyal to me. I knew that Red would be loyal to me. I knew that IDI to an extent would be loyal to me. We had a four-way alliance crunched down the attractions. If Space hadn't gone and flipped on IDI, the attractions alliance literally would have been next to impossible to break. Like that, we could have seen a straight up pagonging and the attractions alliance just taking over the whole game. Yeah. But since Space was so erratic, and since Space kind of decided to, and like I said, Space, I respect you as a player. You know that there's no hard feelings here in terms of personality or whatever. You are a good friend to me. I very much enjoy getting to know you over this. So I hope that, you know, you and I can collaborate on the future and everything and yada, yada, yada. Absolutely no hard feelings at all my way. I hope there's no hard feelings your way. It is a game. It is a game. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I really do think that me just going along with Space and Red, it would have been the easy way to go. And it would have been the way to go where I would have gotten into the finals, but I might not necessarily have won. And I also think that the road to the finals would have been a little boring, considering it's just the one alliance of like the strongest challenge performers in the game, just steamrolling over everyone else. And that's just not good TV. Now everything's up in the air. I mean, now we're heading into the final six, and you got Matt and Flippin, who are kind of on the periphery. You've got Red, who's now been completely screwed over. I don't know what the heck she's gonna do. She's off on her own. You've got IDI. You've got D Squared and myself. It's all crazy. There's all these different factions. There's no real way to know how this is all going to shake out, and I'm really excited about it. Okay. Let's see. I guess D Squared, do you want to get into the challenge this round? Because we had to, what did we have to do this round? We had to design something for the Living Seas. That's right, the Living Seas. Yeah. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull that up on the screen share. I'm about to see Zootopia in about a half hour, folks, so I'm kind of in a little bit of a rush, but I wanted to get some kind of podcast out to y'all. Okay. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So let's just kind of let's go up. Let's kind of go through all these projects really quick, maybe take about 5 minutes apiece talking about them. I haven't actually had the time to look through some of these, so.
I haven't either.
All right, well, that's okay. That's okay. We'll go through them quickly. Okay. I guess we'll start with.
I think there was one above that. I think IDI's is above the new world thing.
If a castaway does not submit, they will be sent to Exile Island. If you are sent to Exile Island, you will not be eligible for Project Veto and may not participate in absolutely any Oh, wow. Okay, this is news to me that I completely, like... Do you have any opinion on this? I completely skipped over this.
I don't see anything wrong with it. Just
so I guess Matt is on Exile Island now. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I guess we can't talk to Matt this round.
Oh yeah, that was why we were talking about the 3-1-3 if there was a tie in the vote.
Right, yeah. Which was a very real possibility. I thought that was going to be a very, very real possibility, the 3-1-3 vote, which would have been crazy. There might, like, a situation could have been arised where if Space had an idol or Space convinced someone else to play an idol for him, how crazy would it have been if all the votes for you, or if all the votes for Space and all the votes for IDI were nullified, and then Matt went home by default?
Yeah.
Okay, so Matt did not have a submission this round, so therefore it kind of made planning out Space's boot a little less convenient than I wanted it to be, because like we said, we had to plan around the whole like potential of a 3-1-3 tie. So that kind of made it a little fun. I know Matt wanted Space out because he was going around messaging people about it. So I know that if Matt would have submitted, that it would have been another vote in Space's favor to go home. So, so Matt, in retrospect, not submitting a project made the actual episode a little more interesting.
Yeah.
Because me and IDI and D Squared really had to kind of scramble after that.
Yeah.
Okay, IDI, here we go. I'm just going to kind of quickly skim through this. Let's see. This pavilion will be about the same as the original invitation. New story. Let's see. You have to travel deep undersea, down with the incredible undersea base of the enemy company and convince them to stop doing what they're doing. Okay, sea base. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Sea base Alpha. I call my sea base Delta. Turtle Talk. Yeah, Turtle Talk is something that I completely forgot to go through. Love that music loop, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't really had a ton of time to look at these things, so I feel bad about that.
Hello? Is my volume? Hey Tiki, I think your mic is muted or something. Oh dear, where did he go? Tiki? Hello? Hold on, I'm gonna check where he is. I think his computer is frozen or something. Let me check if it's just like me. I can't. Oh no, I started the video. I think I'm in Inception now. Wait. Okay, yeah, I don't hear Tiki. Okay. I don't know what to do now. And he's gone. Okay. I'm gonna keep going since I'm gonna keep going until Tiki gets back. Just hold on. Okay. Wait, so alright, I'm just gonna take over what Tiki left until it gets back. His computer. It's like bad weather out there. I have no idea what's going on with him. Alright. This is fun. I get to run the podcast now. This is fun. I've always wanted to do this. Alright, so okay, Andy's back. Let me get my screen share off. Taking over the show. I'm taking over your podcast. Alright.
I apologize for that. My internet, like I said, El Nino is just hitting the West Coast ass right now. So.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see. Oh, the tree of life could be a lemon tree.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so where are we? Did you go through a bunch of projects already?
No, I was trying to see if it was my computer that froze or yours.
No. Trust me, and anytime I drop, it's going to be me because El Nino.
Yeah.
El Nino!
Yeah. All right. I left off where we were. I didn't do anything.
Cool. Okay, so let's see. Am I still screen sharing?
No.
Oh, I'm not?
No.
Shit. Okay, give me a moment then. Give me a moment. Never will get old. Okay. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right. All right, let's scroll down. So yeah, Armichael introduced this new rule, which I just completely glossed over, but it's interesting because now even if we want to talk to Matt about strategy this round, we really can't.
Yeah.
All right, for sure, man. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, thanks, Garrett. Yeah, I'm going to go see Garrett in less than a week. Mandy Reef. Hi, Mandy Reef. Mandy Reef cameo in a Facebook message. All right. So, yeah, like I said, it's if Matt would have posted just a paragraph, it would have made voting out space so much less stressful than it has to be, ironically enough. Okay, now we have Red. I think Red shows some potential here.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think she lacked some detail, but I really, really liked all her ideas.
Yeah.
I love this whole elevator system she got.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you use a frickin' coaster system in a creative way, I love it. So vertically inclined launch shuttle coaster plus living sea equals awesome. That's just really cool to me. I love seeing coasters. And then I love this. Everything about this project, like I said, the only thing this project needs is more detail, but I love everything she put into it. I love the glass elevators. I love the sky tower. I love the vertically inclined launch shuttle coaster. So good ideas all around from Red.
Yeah.
Oh, she even has a blueprint. Nice. Okay, you want to talk about this?
Okay. I never know what to do with Epcot. It's if you make good attractions, no one will ever. It's not realistic, and no one will want to go to them. It'll be like one of those things. But if you do it with characters, and it's just Nemo again, but worse. Yeah.
Well, I don't think Lilo and Stitch is necessarily the worst idea to have with Nemo, because it is all set in Hawaii and everything. You can do some really unique things with the theming. Yeah. First of all, this is a damn good blueprint map right here, man.
I got that off
What?
I got that off Google, I think.
Oh, of course you did. I was like, holy crap, like, you did all this? Wow, this is really impressive.
I think I got that from when we did this in, I think it was The Choice. I think it was like the same map.
Yeah, right. Didn't we do something like that in The Choice? Didn't we have a Cease project there?
Yeah, and then our team didn't finish it.
Okay. Let's see. So yeah, having Turtle Talk replaced with Stitch Encounter, that works.
Yeah.
Were you gonna have anything in regards to the Stitch Encounter in Tomorrowland going away because you have one here?
There's one in the Magic Kingdom.
There's Stitch's Great Escape.
Yeah, that's all. This one's like interactive, so I don't know.
Okay.
That would.
Someone needs to do something with Stitch's Great Escape.
Yeah. In theory, that'll make itself go away in a couple of years, but I don't know.
Right. Just like I'm really hoping that the new Frozen show coming to the Hyperion at California Adventure kills the sing-along show that's currently just I'm just gonna say it. It's currently raping the Muppet Vision Theater. It's raping it. Big buzzwords tonight. Okay, so Jumbo's Deep Sea Dash.
Basically, instead of finding Nemo, you're just running away from the bad guys from the show. I grew up with the end of the show. I didn't grow up with the movies. I was like 2 years old.
Oh, I grew up with the movies, my friend. I saw the original Finding Nemo in theaters the weekend, like 2 days before I went on my first trip to Disneyland. So Disneyland and Finding Nemo is like almost, or I'm sorry, Disneyland and Lilo and Stitch is almost synonymous with each other for me.
Yeah.
Anyways. Okay. So So then we get to Flippin, who I'm basically guessing Flippin did this just to avoid the penalty.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
He did something, looks like something related to Captain Nemo, which, you know, that's always a good fit. That's kind of a good go-to. Ooh, Maui. I could see Maui from Moana being a good meet and greet.
Yeah.
Okay, that works. And then I guess we get to kind of like the two big contenders here.
Oh boy.
Space. I'm going to show off just how threatening your artwork is. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that lighting, man. It's freakishly good. Okay, no, in all seriousness, no. I love Space's project. I was genuinely kind of shocked that I beat him. Seriously, now this is a space art right here. He knows how to make blueprints. I mean, that's threatening right here.
Yeah.
He knows how to make freaking blueprints and make them look realistic.
Yeah.
Okay. Really awesome entrance. Kind of calls back 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, of course, with the squid and the Nautilus. Really cool stuff. Anything you have to say about this project?
It's probably better than the submarines that were all getting all run down in the 80s or whatever.
Probably.
Okay. Nothing really bad about it. The art's all really good. All the pictures.
Yeah, the art's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
the art is definitely the thing that Space has been sticking out with this season.
Yeah.
Blue whale and squid. I mean, yeah, it really gives you a sense of what you're looking at, what the actual experience is going to be like. And I just think that's advantage that Space has over his projects that, frankly, people that don't have that kind of artistic ability don't have. I mean, it's just really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Hydrolators, ocean laboratory exhibits. The Nautilus, him and I essentially did the same version of the Nautilus, which is funny.
Yeah.
All right, and finally we come to my project, the Sea-Based Delta, the Society for Explorers and Adventurers. And my God, I think every competition I'm going to be competing in from now on, I'll have to have at least one sea-based project.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of starting to become a trend. From the get-go, I knew I wanted it to be themed to the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. I knew I wanted to call it Sea-Based Delta, but it took me a long time to actually get any sort of detail worked in for this thing. And in the end, to tell you the truth, I'm not really all that high on it. I actually think Michael likes this a little bit more than I do. I like the idea of having water-based mammals like polar bears, penguins, sea lions. I like that whole idea. I think it makes it more unique than just like, ooh, fish tanks and more fish tanks and ooh, coral reef. You know what I mean? I think it gives it more of a dynamic kind of flow to it where you're seeing different seas from different parts of the world. And that's definitely what I was going for. I don't think I worked in the actual Society of Explorers and Adventurers as much as I would have liked to. If I had more time, I probably would have gone back and written in more about how they work themselves into the plot. But our Michael seemed to like it, so you know, can't complain. I have been here, by the way, and it just stinks to high heaven, but it's awesome at the same time. Those are the seals on Pier 39 in San Francisco. Okay. I don't know, like things like Lord Henry Mystic randomly being in Australia. Like, why are they randomly in Australia? It makes absolutely no sense. But to tell you the truth, I'm actually kind of shocked. I'm kind of shocked that this beat Space's project. I would consider Space's project the better project. I really would. That's just me being honest.
Well, it's kind of like where Space had the better artwork. Your backstory was a bit more, because this Spaces were basically 20,000 Leagues, but it had really good artwork, and you did.
That's true.
The sea thing with a really good backstory, but it's.
Okay, so now without further ado, we have the hit list.
The hit list.
So it looks like I'm right on top going into next round. Oh dear. Looks like Space Mountain. How do you think the duel between Space Mountain and Hufflepuff is going to go? I think this is going to be close. I think the only reason why Space isn't going to dominate is because he's pretty busy today.
Yeah.
But it's a 48-hour challenge, which kind of gives Space an advantage. So I think Hufflepuff has his competition set out for him.
Let's see either Space or Hufflepuff back in the game again. It's going to be fun if one of them gets back in.
I mean, I would probably prefer Hufflepuff to be back in the game, considering I bet Space is going to have my head on a silver platter.
Yeah.
And considering Space is just out of control when it comes to how good he is at the challenges.
Yeah.
So Space, I love you, man, but I'm rooting for Hufflepuff in this duel. Let's see. IDI still a solid third place. IDI, I think, is doing a good job of not putting a target on his back with the challenges. I think he's doing just as much as he needs to, but not really coming out like, hey, man, like, look at how good this is. Red gets fourth place, which is what she got last time, so she's kind of hanging in the middle of the pack. And then D Squared, Flippin, and Matt, you guys are kind of towards the end. But hey, that's the advantage, because now nobody's really looking at you in terms of the hit list.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I guess that's it. I guess that'll pretty much wrap it up. Let me stop my screen share. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I just want to kind of end with Space. Like I said, absolutely no hard feelings whatsoever. I hope there's no hard feelings on your end. The fact of the matter is, I just saw Space kind of gaining numbers and gaining allies and kind of having all these side conversations and pointing fingers at me during certain times. And just the whole thing didn't add up, and it kind of just resulted in me being so sketched out by Space that even though I knew he would probably be loyal, I had to take him out just because I thought he was playing too hard. I thought he had his hands in too many cookie jars. I thought he was trying to control too many things at once, and that is what ultimately led to my decision. And of course, the fact that he's just a kick-ass challenge competitor. So, D Squared, this was definitely an exciting round. I'd say this is probably the strategic highlight of the season thus far. So, any last words?
It's going to be fun. If Space gets back in the game, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and I haven't talked to Space yet personally about this, but he knows he can message me if he wants. I'm totally fine. If he wants to yell at me, I can take it. Because this is all my doing. This from the very get-go, from like day one of this last challenge, I was behind the scenes, kind of planning this all out. So. All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode of the Soul Imagineer Tribal Council Podcast. Oh, yo, 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 yeah, yo, 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 yeah, yo, 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 yeah. I found the lemon tree. 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 I found the lemon tree.
We're gonna be doing this for like the next 3 hours, aren't we?
Pretty much.
I found the lemon tree. 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 I found the lemon